However, that is not the case for a lot of rural villagers in my home country, Indonesia, as they do not have access to a steady supply of electricity. One of the examples of those villagers is Mr. Sumarna, and he's located in Sukabumi, West Java, which is a location in Indonesia. Mr. Sumarna lives in constant fear every day that the lights that power his house or the equipment in his farms may shut down at any moment. Imagine if suddenly the electricity in this entire building shut down. Isn't that very scary? That is the problem that Mr. Sumarna and millions of other villagers throughout Indonesia face on a daily basis. Thus, me and my friends have created a project called 360energy.io, where we aim to implement renewable energy in the rural villages of Indonesia so that farmers like Mr. Sumarna can have a peace of mind that they have energy running 24/7. Our team consists mostly of Indonesian students that go to universities throughout the United States, such as UCSD, UC Irvine, WPI, UMass, MIT, and of course LMU. Our LMU team consists of myself, William C. Harto, Putri Amelia Griney, Nicholas Royster, and Keegan McLean. And the solution that we have come up with to try and provide renewable energy to these rural areas or these developing communities is, I present to you our Moped microgrid, Indonesia's first scalable clean energy microgrid aimed at small and medium enterprises. So, our Moped microgrid has three parts. The first part is the irrigation canal, where it redirects water flow from a nearby river into our generator. So the next part is our generator, which is called the gravitational water power vortex, or the guppy for short. And once the water flow enters the guppy, it creates a vortex, and from that vortex, electricity is generated. And on top of the guppy, there's a wire that transfers that generated electricity into our power stack. So the power stack acts as an inventory or storage unit for the electricity. And once that happens, our generator is able to produce 4.5 kilowatts of electricity, which is able to power 5 households. And back in the summer of 2022, we were able to implement our Moped microgrid in Mr. Sumarna's farm. And the results were beyond our expectations. After we implemented our microgrid in Mr. Sumarna's farm, his farm was able to increase his fish production by 250%. Making him a lot more revenue and a lot more profit, and making him a very happy man. See that smile on his face? Pretty happy. Okay. But aside from that, our Moped microgrid is also very good for the environment, as it's able to offset carbon at a rate of 29 tons per year, which is the equivalent of planting approximately 1,300 trees. And because our project was so successful at Mr. Sumarna's farm, a lot of other farms in the area also want like a piece of the cake. And thus currently we have a 20+ wait list from farms in the area of West Java for our Moped microgrid. So obviously, we want to expand, and seeing the change we did in Mr. Sumarna's farm, we wanted to do more. And thus, ever since the start of 2023, our team at 360 Energy have been working very hard on a new initiative. That initiative is the Lighthouse Initiative, where we aim to provide our generators in 3 more villages throughout Indonesia. So, ever since the start of the year, we started by identifying the 3 villages in Indonesia in which we want to implement our generators in. The first one is a village called Dago, which is in West Java. Here you can see a preview of the village and the steady water supply near the village because we do hydro energy. And then after that, we did customer surveys in these villages in order to determine the pricing for our electricity. And by the way, this customer survey we did was funded by LMU, so shout out to the Incubation and Jason DeMello, thank you very much. Okay. And after that, currently we're developing a business model and working closely with consultants from McKinsey and Indonesia in order to find microfinancing institutions that could fund the implementation of our generators. And once all that is set in stone and done, we plan on implementing our generators in 3 villages by this summer. And the deployment of one generator is approximately $6,000. That's why what we're looking for is funding for $18,000 to implement our 3 generators, and mentorship, preferably people who have expertise in the renewable energy or microfinancing sectors. And lastly, if anybody's interested in joining 360 and making a change in Indonesia and possibly the world, feel free to sign up in our website and look for volunteer opportunities. And with that, I'd like to end my speech with a quote by Steve Jobs, where he once said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are usually the ones that do." And I can guarantee our team at 360 is filled with some crazy people.